This show's getting worse.
Hello and welcome to Brown the Tits, Australia's #1 self-tanning podcast. We are recording right this time.
Yes.
For sure?
Yes.
Okay.
I've tested.
All right.
By the grace of God.
By the grace of the goblins. That's all. There's no gods for podcasts. They wouldn't lower themselves to this. Not even, you know.
This episode made me upset.
It's, in a lot of ways, really unremarkable, except for a few things, and those things are just sort of... Like, some of them are what there are some unforced errors, I feel, in this one.
This episode is called the Niranderthal Beast.
Yes, like Port Noranda, and...
It's a clever name.
That's...
Way cleverer than this show deserves.
That's very true. This has obviously ever felt like this. I'm Gabe Thural. Neanderthal.
That's a good one.
Yeah, you're Neanderthal now.
I'm from Amsterdam. And yeah, this show is Round the Twist. This episode is from 2000.
My God.
I believe it was filmed in 1999, though.
The year 2000.
And we get an opening of a black and white sort of shot, and it's shaky cam, kind of.
I feel like this would have been close to, if not sort of around the Blair Witch release.
I feel so, yeah.
Because it had it was definitely doing the Bigfoot footage routine, but like it had that found footage quality that was on vogue.
And we see footprints on the ground, like kind of like beast prints, and then we get like a Neanderthal like popping up.
Yeah, I mean it does just look like, you know, a guy in a ghillie suit
with some mud on him.
Yeah, like I feel like, you know, if you were going to do this show in the modern setting, it would be about, like, the town gets infested with airsoft players. They're just kind of around, and you got to sort of, you know... They don't attack you, you know, because you're not, like, you know... But they're just a bit of a nuisance.
And the whole premise of the episode is pretty much summed up very quickly within the opening, because Pete and his father are essentially testing if he can shave yet.
Yeah, he's like, his dad's examining his paws for hints of follicle.
And of course Bronson's there, because why wouldn't he be?
Yeah.
He's a nuisance.
Yeah, I was going to say it does not involve him one iota, but that doesn't matter. And then, like, you know, his dad's got the shaving cream on for the shave. And then we learn that there's, like, a family razor, and that's a big deal. And I feel like that's a weakness of this episode because, like, they've been pretty good at laying the groundwork for stuff. You know, that is one of the qualities that the show has. Stuff actually gets, like, you imagine a fucking kids show from the 90s fucking setting shit up and paying it off across seasons.
Yeah.
You know, it was not common.
No.
Not, you know... Not
no,
like
episodes are very rarely linked.
Yeah. And, like, you know, the fucking Viking Book of Love and shit, that's been coming... Like, it's been very good at, like... It's been very good at this. And now there's just apparently some fucking razor that's super important to the family. And, like, Granddad took it from a Nazi in the war. And then, you know... Linda has to go shopping or something.
No, they have to go shopping because Faye's asleep and they're shopping for her Mother's Day present.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, so they're all like, oh, come on, you know, she's still asleep, let's go. And I feel like you can just go, hey, we're going out. Where are you going? The shops. Can I come? No.
No, we don't actually like you.
So they're all waiting on Bronson. Bronson's not coming.
Yeah,
so
I did find that funny because if you're heading out with the kids, and particularly if one of them was a Bronson... The idea that you just be like, well, Bronson's not here. Oh, well, fuck it. We'll just leave him to whatever he's doing.
Because that's what they essentially do.
Yeah.
Tony's like, oh, well, he can buy his own Mother's Day present and just drives off.
Because there's this line from King of the Hill where Hank says, where's Dale? I can't see him. It makes me nervous when I can't see him. And I have that, you know, that's the Bronson thing. Like, and having been, a child where it's like, yeah, you probably should, I can remember it's like, yeah, it's not a good idea to leave me and my brother to our own devices
No.
because something will happen. You will not have a moment's peace if you can't at least, have a good idea where we are. And I feel that way about Bronson, where it's like, well, okay, the one kid that's more likely than any other fuck something up is just now completely unmonitored. So, aye.
And Bronson hasn't left the bathroom. He's still in there. He's coating his face in shaving cream.
Lurking.
And he pulls out the old razor, and it has a photo of an elderly gentleman with a beard.
Old German guy in a World War I German helmet.
Yeah.
And a very long beard.
So Bronson decides to shave. And let me tell you, if this razor was even slightly sharp, this would be a different picture, because he dragged it across his lips.
Yeah, I know. I sort of got hooked up on that as well. Like, because he just,
because it's a straight razor. It's not, like a Gillette one that has.
It's one of the real early, like, it's slightly different to a full cutthroat.
Yeah.
But it's not what you'd call, it's not put in a capital safe and safety.
No, it's got no safety guards or anything on it. It's just a metal razor.
Yeah, like if you drag it across lips, that's gonna suck. Like it's making me do that thing where it's just like I don't like thinking about that.
No. And then we see some magical blue sparkles come across, and he drops the razor, and it breaks.
Yeah. Which is most understandable. Like, that's actually a fairly fair response to, like, if I was, like, I still shave to keep myself from looking like a feral. But, like, if the razor suddenly sparkles with magic, I'm dropping that fucking thing.
Yeah.
That might not be, that might just be like it's about to explode magic. It's not necessarily a fucking beard curse.
And we kind of run into the B story, if you can even call it a B story. As we cut to the Twists, who are out and about shopping.
Yeah.
They've all got Faye a present for Mother's Day. They're all wrapped somehow.
Yeah, like I know places do wrapping, but still.
This was not Mother's Day wrapping at all, though.
Yeah,
it was like just birthday.
I think one of them looked like Christmas paper.
It was miscellaneous. They found whatever they had in the cupboard.
Yeah, and we get like a brief cut back to like Bronson at home packing up the dropped razor into like a little satchel and then getting on his bike to get it repaired.
But the best part is the Twists run into the Gribbles.
Yeah.
And we see, it's not explained at first, but we do see that Matron is holding the Viking Book of Love.
Which she did purloin.
And Harold being love-struck and revealing that he's built a hotel. The Hotel de Love.
And it's just, like, there's a certain kind of Australian Queenslander pub, and it's just one of those... Except it's covered with, like, love hearts with Matron's face in the middle.
It is the creepiest shit.
Yeah, imagine a fuck shed where just Matron watches you. And she's smiling, like she's happy.
She has an eccentric look on her face. It is not just, it's not one of lust.
No,
it's not one of happiness. It looks like she's got the crazy eyes and she's going to stab someone.
It's contentment, but one that she wants to rub in somebody else's face.
Yeah.
It's success she gets to lord over others. It's that kind of smile. And it must be that kind of fuck shed.
And we get the little bit of connection because Linda's like, hey, that's my book.
And we do get a solid line from Matron here with, is your name the Viking Book of Love? And Linda has to admit that no, it is not in fact the Viking Book of Love.
So yeah, they are...
The family, this is when they get home and have to pretend like they went shopping.
This is so dumb because they're at the bottom of the stairs holding the presents, and Faye comes down the stairs, and they all put the presents behind their backs. And she's like, I'm going to go into town, go shopping. Does anyone come? Oh, we just were shopping. What were you shopping for? Linda's like, window shopping. And then they took it literally and started talking, and Pete was like, we're for Windows 99. Which is dumb. Do they even have a computer? We know Bronson has one, but...
Yeah, Bronson used to be in a computer. It's like, I bet there's a computer in the house. I do have to keep reminding myself, though, that this is from the year 2000.
Yeah.
Because the first season is, like, literally from 1990, and, that was a different time in terms of computer.
Yeah. So, we get that, and they're just hiding their presents behind their back, but they're all wrapped.
Yeah.
That's...
Yeah.
Also, think about this. You were like, let's go out while she's sleeping.
Let us let mother awaken to an empty house. We're gone, she will not know.
because like cell phones were not really a thing here. It's not like she just woke up and called Tony and go, "Hey, where are you?"
I mean, this is the land of the Nokia 3310. You know, this was when these phones were about in a meaningful way.
Yeah. But we haven't really seen cell phones in the show.
No.
No one's got one.
There's no one, and I can kind of understand that because it's like, yeah, the rest of the civilized world has mobile phones, but like rural New South Wales or Victoria or wherever the fuck shit this is filmed is not going to have.
Yeah.
Like, this was a period where, like, yeah, you could be in an urban area and not really get good reception. You know, it's not like you were just like, oh, I'm in the fucking dome of 5G.
Segue into something that I went into an abandoned building the other day.
That doesn't sound like... I mean, of your own free will?
Yeah.
Okay.
A friend
you
and
didn't
I
see, like, a cursed video or something?
No, it used to be an antique store. Antique furniture store.
Where was it?
It's off, like, Logan Highway. It's 2 stories, and it's massive.
I'd feel somewhat concerned going to an abandoned warehouse in Logan.
Well, it used to be like an upmarket furniture store, antique furniture store, and it got closed down. And there's been a woman for like the past 10 years who's been trying to turn it into a haunted house. And she's apparently spent more than like $1 million on proposals and all this sort of stuff.
That is wild.
It is crazy.
You know what the sad thing is? When that woman dies, her story will make for an excellent haunted house.
And I felt like I was in the 90s being in that thing. There was 2.
I want to go now. I want to see the fucking...
It's pretty cool. There was a lot of graffiti. One graffiti was Hitler is right, and I'm like, oh, that's not good. And then like around the corner was Hitler is gay. Like the duality of man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that I don't know why, but like seeing the stores and stuff in this just reminded me of it.
Especially because like these stores are a particular kind of like you'll still see them in like Brisbane. Like there's that stretch of Annerley that just has these fucking little shops that were built in like the 20s.
Yeah.
And for various reasons just have not been updated.
Yeah.
You know, and like that's the crazy thing about where they filmed this shit in fucking Victoria is just like they've got those kinds of shops where like this is like, yeah, some fucking, you know, recently freed convict probably built this shit. And now it's like, oh yeah, this is where I go to buy bongs.
So we get Bronson, who's at the barber, and he's talking to Con, the barber.
Yeah, we get our guest character for the episode, the Greek dude who works at the barber shop.
And he knows all about the razor and the type of handle it has.
That's fair. Also, there was a little joke here. He said it's a vintage Werner Klemperer. And Werner Klemperer is the name of the actor who played Colonel Klink in Hogan's Heroes.
Oh, holy crap. That is deeper than anything I'd ever... How did you pick up on that? Did you just know?
Yeah.
Oh.
I've watched a lot of fucking Hogan's Heroes. It used to be on before The Simpsons.
True,
and you'd just be like, all right, yeah, sure. Concentration camp or whatever, like a Nazi fucking POW camp. That'll be fun.
You think about it in today's terms, and shit is wild.
It is, like, yeah, the pitch for it is amazing. And then, you know, but like, and especially because we're not talking like a modern sitcom that might be like, you know, darkly funny.
No.
This is like, I've got a fucking like,
it's slapstick.
Yeah, it's a fucking, it's a fucking like old sitcom where it's like, oh, look at this wacky Nazi.
Which is nuts.
I know.
It's so nuts.
Like, Sergeant Schultz. You fat dumbass.
Sorry?
No, I was going to say, like, Schultz, they probably would have rolled him into the ovens just for being fat. You know,
probably.
That might be why he was put in a fucking, you know, go nowhere job with, like, you know, Colonel Clank.
So Bronson asked to get the razor repaired. And Con asked him for a deposit. So he gives the money that he was going to buy Faye a present with. And...
No, then he starts rubbing his face and, like, Con tries to sell him some aftershave.
Which is great. I love it. Because, like, yes, why wouldn't a kid need aftershave?
You know, you gotta look classy.
And so Bronson leaves the store. He's a bit upset. And then he runs into Faye. And just stammers about presents.
Yeah, I wrote that he spills some of the beans regarding a present. And Faye looks somewhat lovingly at the Matron watches his fuck hotel.
That's the biggest loophole in this fucking episode. Is Faye is not... What's the word? Fond of the Gribbles.
Yeah, I could understand if it, like, actually looked good. You know, like that is it's one of those.
It looks like you're going down to the Wickham to like stay a spell.
The Wickham, if it was covered in pictures of your aunt.
It may as well be.
That's the thing is
it's so bad.
Yeah, we can't stress this is not like just a slightly tasteless redesign. It's a sight gag. The existence of this thing is a sight gag. And so the problem is now if you've got characters who are supposed to, you know, really like the idea of spending a romantic evening under the gribbles. Like
kiss me below the gribble toe.
It's just Mark Mitchell's pubes.
Oh. So Bronson gets on his bike and rides home. And we see him take off his helmet and look at his reflection in the window, and he suddenly has a beard.
Yeah, and it's like it's a corker too. It's like down to his waist.
Yeah. So he's gingery and very hairy.
You know the funny thing is it's actually a solid fake beard.
Yeah.
Like considering they stapled it to a child, it's like I don't know, like, did they get real hair? Maybe ABC is just this, like, real beard hair department that got heavily invested in, like, 1929, and they thought it was going to be a bigger deal in the future.
And here's where the main plot kind of kicks in, and it's ridiculous. There's nothing short of ridiculous, because Bronson obviously is freaking out.
Yeah.
That he has a full-grown beard, because as far as Bronson knows, and Bronson's not very bright, but he still knows that people don't just grow a beard that quickly. So he sneaks out to go see the barber.
Well, first, he runs upstairs and hides in the house for a little while. And then waits until night.
Yeah.
And then he's like, because he needs the cover of darkness. And like, this, I'll give him this with this one, because it's like, normally it'd be like, hey, something magic happened to my face again. And you'd be like, all right, yeah, we gotta go figure this shit out. But the reason he kept it a secret is because he broke his dad's fucking razor he shouldn't be using.
Yeah.
And so it's like, all right, so there's at least a fair reason for Bronson to not just be going, hey, help me with magic face.
So he's sneaking out and he scares a lady who sees him.
Yeah, like, he's, like, to be fair, the beard is, like, to his, like, feet.
And it's very dark.
Yeah. And he walks past someone's house and she just, like, screams.
And he goes to the barber, and this is the part that got me. The barber obviously sleeps in the shop, and he's wearing barber pajamas. Because he's got a little yellow suit he's got on, a little pajama suit, and they've got, like, barber products on them.
I know if, like, I've known one or two barbers, and I guarantee you, like, you could have sold that shit to them. They'd love their little fucking,
Absolutely.
Pajama suit with the barber shit on him.
He takes his purpose very seriously.
Yeah. And, like, Bronson goes, you know, what is this? And the barber says it's a beard.
He's looking through a little zoom lens. What are they called? Magnifying glass.
Yeah, no, I literally was about to say that, and then you said zoom lens, and it just... The fucking thought just got, I don't know, kicked out of my fucking brain somehow. I was like,
no!
Yeah, you know, the magnifying zoom lens. Huh?
That's a thing you'd find in Zelda.
Yeah.
To allow you to look further.
Use my zoom lens.
And it's a beard, and Bronson's like, really?
And so he shaves it off the child, and then gives Bronson like just the fucking biggest bag of disposables. But they're the real cheapo fucking yellow Bics that I just...
He wants Bronson to die.
Yeah.
Because if you shave with those, you are going to die from blood loss.
Yeah, those are fucking heinous.
Because, like, I don't know why they thought getting the cheapest razor possible and shoving it in the cheapest lump of plastic possible.
Because
it's supposed to be for your face.
Yeah, the plastic does not glide.
No.
Like, there's not, like...
It catches and scrapes.
Yeah, like, it's even... It doesn't matter if you're using fucking cream or butter or fucking whatever the shit you fucking cover your face with. The fucking way it's designed is, like, it bunches up whatever face lubricant you've got on, and then just leaves, like, you know, the kind of tacky plastic that you could make a toy out.
The only thing I know Bic makes are lighters and
they
razors.
All use the same plastic.
And pens.
Because that'll be the same plastic as their pen plastic.
They make a good lighter.
Yeah, and their pen plastic is good because it doesn't slip out of your fingers.
Yeah.
Regardless of how sweaty you may be.
So he's not going to have a good time. And...
Hate those fucking things.
We hear, like, sirens coming while they're talking. And Bronson's like, oh, you know, thanks, Con. And this is a line that pisses me off in so many shows when someone thanks someone, they go, "Oh, I'm just doing my job." Because we find out later, but Bronson's not paying him. Imagine if someone walked into your shop and can I have a carton of cigarettes? Thanks, just doing my job, and off you go without paying the fucker.
I feel like if
how you making a living?
A kid whose arms and legs were cigarettes or something, I might do it just out of morbid curiosity. Like, I'll give a little bit of a buffer to Bronson in this regard, because he kind of is almost like the town mascot.
I guess.
You know, like, I feel like a lot of the reason why I do anything for him is I just want to see, A, how this hurts him, or B, how this gets him out of trouble. You know, because one of the two things is going to happen. This is either going to hurt Bronson, or it's going to get him out of the trouble that he's already in. And I'm curious to see what happens.
So the police have showed up to that lady's house who screamed. And they're interviewing her, and she keeps saying, "I saw a horrible beast. It was walking around on 2 legs, fully covered in hair."
Yeah.
And Bronson's kind of walking past with his head down, holding his razors.
And, like, I mean, this was another one of those things that needed setup, and it needed a bit more of the episode to work with. Because there's just no reason for this.
Yeah, because...
You know, like, especially if it's like, oh, yeah, so, what's my name? Oh, you saw some, like, hairy guy walking down the street. No, he was kind of short. Oh, you saw him from your fucking, you know, your house window from, like, 5 meters away.
Has anyone else reported this?
At night, and maybe you didn't get it, like, you know, it was maybe it was a fucking dwarf or a fucking midget or some shit. Like, we're not, you know, no, it wasn't some kind of pube monster come to get you. Kind of pube chud. And like, the thing is, there are ways that it could have been, like, better.
Yeah.
We'll get to it at the end, but, like, you know, this is one of those hinge points where it's like, this is just, you know.
It makes me feel bad watching it. I shouldn't feel bad watching your show.
I don't want to feel bad watching Round the Twist.
Especially, like, Bronson wakes up the next morning, you know, thinking he's free. And the beard has grown completely off the bed, down to the end of the bed.
Yeah.
So he's obviously a little shaken.
It's at his feet, yeah.
And robes up to go to the bathroom, and we see the beard sticking out the robe and then, like, wrapped nearly around his leg.
Well, he shaves the first beard off. But then by the time that's, like, he's gotten back to his room, it's because now he's got, like, garbage bags full of, like...
I was getting that. That was the next part. But yeah, because, like, I wanted to talk about the hairy Bronson. Because I was saying when we were watching this... yes, if this show had action figures, who wouldn't want to own the hairy Bronson?
The hairy Bronson variant would have had, like, real hair, and it would be fucking hideously
expensive. You could comb it.
Yeah, it'd come with, like, a little...
It's like a troll doll.
Yeah.
You know, you can comb their hair.
It is weird that was just like, what can you do with this thing? Well, you can
comb its hair.
It's like, all right.
I wonder how many people grew up to be, like, wanting to do stuff with hair from those.
It's such... Like, 'cause it's such weird hair, too. Like... It's not like, I understand...
It's like tennis ball fuzz.
Yeah. Like, I understand if you're a little, like, you know, girl or a giant homo and you want to, like, Barbie, because that's human hair-ish, you know? And you can go, you can simulate what you might want to do with human hair. And then there's the troll doll. And it's like, I want to scrub something's head pubes. And that isn't a job, you know? That isn't an activity, even. That's not a thing you can do.
So yeah, Bronson's, as you said, is shaved, and there's more to grow back, so he shoves it all in garbage bags and sneaks downstairs fully. He's wrapped up like Kenny from South Park, Nelly.
Yeah, well, he's got, like, that fucking ear flap hat that Kyle has.
There's gotta be something wrong with that guy hat.
Yeah.
And he's
then,
peering
like, a full
out.
Scarf around, yeah, so there was just this, like, fucking weird little...
Tony is down the bottom of the stairs, and he's having breakfast, and he's reading a paper, and on the paper is printed about the Niranderthal. It's got a picture of, like, a beastly drawing.
Yeah, one of those, like, cryptid sighting drawings you get from, like, you know, days gone by.
And Bronson, the little cheeky bugger, steals Tony's toast. I blame Tony, because he can't hear the child that is behind him with the bags of hair.
Maybe all that hair absorbs the sound. You know, it might work that way.
I doubt it. But yeah, he steals his poor Tony's toast. And Tony goes to reach for the toast and it's gone.
So we get, like, you know, now Bronson's, you know, heading back to the barber, walking around in, like, the Kyle hat and the full neck scarf. And meanwhile, now the whole town is going nuts about a monster. So the police are driving around. There's Toyota 4x4s full of like hooting, hillbillies.
And we find out later they're actually hunters.
Yeah. And like, meanwhile, Gribble is offering a bounty for like the Niranderthal. And a lady brings up, hey, aren't you just doing all this because no one's at your weird love hotel? And then in a very meta moment, Gribble accuses the woman of being from the ABC.
Yeah. So he's offering $5,000 for the capture of the beast. And Con tells Bronson, you've made the paper.
I'd put $5,000 up just to watch morons run around a town.
Yeah.
Do people, I suppose I was going to ask people actually research. No, they don't. Yeah, we're the cryptid hunters.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
So yeah, Con...
I wouldn't even need the $5,000. I'm not going to pay it out.
Con shows Bronson the paper because he's like, oh, that's you. Look at you. You're in the paper, little furry boy. Which is like, Bronson's starting to stress a little because the beard just keeps growing back, obviously. And now he's in the paper and they're hunting him down.
We get back home and, now Pete and Tony are talking and he's talking about going to Fiona's. And like, Tony and like Faye are on the couch, and I think like Tony's trying to get some alone time, and these stupid kids are talking to him. And then Linda says she's going to a meeting about protecting the Neanderthal, or the Niranderthal.
And then it's just bedlam. The whole town's out.
Yeah, well, like, there's this weird bit that sort of doesn't fit. There's a few of these. They've taken like bits of other episodes and kind of inserted them here, because like Faye talks about how she ran into Bronson and how he was being weird. So Tony goes upstairs to talk to Bronson, and Bronson's obviously hiding under the bed because he doesn't want everyone to see his fucking beard. But like, I don't know, I think Tony thinks he's... At first I thought Tony thought he was jerking off, because he's just hiding under the bed and he says he's playing Cave Explorer. And then Tony starts with this talk about like, well, as you get older, and it's like, oh, okay, that's the joke here. It's like, you lied about the magic beard and now your dad's going to talk to you about masturbation. That's what you get for lying. And... then it doesn't, though. He just talks about how, like, you'll get used to living with Faye, which is kind of a thing they've been dragging the fuck out.
But there's been no issue with that for ages.
Yeah, well, they fucking resolved it. Yeah. It's like, and then, like, Bronson realizes he has to get a Mother's Day present for Faye, realizes he has nothing in his piggy bank besides dandruff lumps, and decides to chance heading out past, like, the fucking hunters.
Yeah, and, like, there's just people everywhere.
Yeah, like, he's having, like, stealth mission past, like... It was kind of like the end of, like, Night of the Living Dead, The hillbillies are out.
And Bronson ends up scaring Gribble Jr.
He loses the scarf, and then Gribble Jr. sees like, the hairy child.
And freaks out, and all the hunters come out and go off after him. And, Pete's over at Fiona's. They're getting close.
Well, Pete's trying.
Yeah. It's just... I don't like Pete. He's too eager.
I mean, like, this Fiona doesn't have a lot of character.
No. She was whitewashed and stripped of everything she is. She is now...
put anything else in there.
She is now side character.
If that. Like, fuck, they gave the one-off autistic kid more shit.
Yeah.
Con had more stuff going on. I'm getting the Con figure when it comes out. I'm gonna miss out on Con. I pre-order Con.
So I can't actually remember what happens at this part.
So, like, they're watching a horror movie. Pete's trying to do the arm around thing. And then, Fiona sees them chasing Bronson and decides that...
Oh, yeah.
You got to protect fucking the weird goblins that live in Australia, which is true. And then, like, so they cut to a meeting of fucking Nell.
We get Nell having a powwow. Because, like, it's late at night and she's gathered all these people.
Well, she's where Linda went. So she's leading the fucking let's not, like, murder the weird hair goblin we've just discovered part. And she's talking about how, like, we have to approach this in a calm, scientific manner. And then the crowd hears, like, the let's kill it mob, and then they form a let's protect it mob and go storming off after it. And so now you've got, like, it's kind of like the start of Terminator 2, except with two separate mobs. And you don't know which one's going to protect you and which one's going to, like, I don't know, skin you and eat you or something.
Then Bronson shows up.
Yeah,
and they're all kind of shocked. And Pete just says it should have been me. And that's a weird response, Pete. I understand you want some facial hair to impress the ladies, but that's a lot.
I mean, yeah, there's nothing chicks dig more than just like the thin layer of pubes that you're going to be able to manage for like 5 years. That's absolutely going to bring them runner.
It should have been me. And so Bronson tells him what's happening.
Yeah, and then they sort of head off to the barber.
Who just coincidentally got the part just before he closed. And he neglected to tell Bronson. Like the good barber he is.
Yeah, the central spin shaft. Which I don't like, you could just rub it. Like, it wouldn't be a good shave, but if you're trying to solve magical face, pubes, I'd be like, alright, yeah, just doesn't have to be fucking good. Just drag it around.
So the con's like, just give me a while. It'll take a while. And I don't think it will take a while to screw a head onto a barrel, but okay.
Yeah, probably not.
And then we cut to the hunters. And they're upset with Gribble because they've been out all night. They're not finding anything. And then suddenly the big hunter, who is like a Louisiana swamp monster.
Yeah, he had that kind of look about him.
He sees a pile on the ground.
Like a taller Bray Wyatt.
Of dandruff. And he picks it up and he looks at it and he goes, dandruff! And then he tastes it. And he goes, it's fresh. If you say so, buddy.
The best part is he then tries to give Gribble a taste.
Forcefully, yeah.
Yeah, just shoves it in Gribble's face. And the way he pulled back made me think that maybe that wasn't in the script.
And he just goes, it leads to the barber shop, let's go. And it's like, how do you know that? Like, it's a pile on the ground.
They could have just been like...
Thin trail
yeah,
of it
like
going.
like it just...
But instead, it's a heap.
Yeah, no,
it's like a bowl of rice.
It's a fist-sized thing of rice bubbles that they've poured onto the ground.
So they meanwhile, the razor's fixed. We shave up Bronson. Bronson's nice and shaved, and then it just grows back instantly.
Yeah, this time we can see it. We actually get the special
nice
effect.
CGI.
Yeah. They can do morphing effects now, so they can make children grow like huge beards in seconds. What a world we live in.
So Bronson's like, what am I gonna do? Like,
yeah,
they're gonna disinfect me.
Yeah, this was like,
which is great.
I do love fucking Bronson's misuse of words.
And Pete's like, well, you can charge money. Pete always seeing the upside.
Yeah, like, I'd pay $1 to see the beard child.
And then Linda, and Pete also again says it should have been me. And then Linda clicks. She's like, yes. You've broken the chain. It's supposed to be passed down.
Yeah, so
it was supposed to be passed down to Pete.
Yeah.
But it wasn't to Bronson. So you've broken the chain.
Yeah, so
the magic Nazi hair chain.
Yeah, Tony had promised the beard razor to Pete. And then, Bronson had used it. So what they do is they get Pete to just use it for no reason because he's, hairless. And then he hands it to Bronson, who then uses it. And then the magic, starts sparkling.
Meanwhile, this whole time, everyone's outside. And they're trying to barge into the barber, but Gribble keeps delaying them.
Yeah,
and he's giving them a counter. Why?
I suppose
I guess he doesn't want to pay the money?
Well, that, but also, the longer... Well, I mean, the thing, the longer they're in town, the longer they're paying at his hotel.
I see.
But I also figured that, like me, he too thought that a big pile of angry armed white guys storming into an immigrant's house would probably not be great. Just,
sure.
Is it guaranteed to be a problem? No, but it would have... It could get out of hand.
So they finally finish. They barge in finally and find nothing.
Yeah, just a child having shaved recently.
Bronson, however, is still upset because he never got a Mother's Day present for Faye. And this is where we find out the con's been doing a bit of a dodgy. He's been taking all the hair and selling it to a wig company.
Yeah, because he did say he was going to research it, but he just wasn't.
No.
He's just selling it to
He's
a
just
wig
selling
company.
it. And the best part is, wig companies don't use facial hair for head hair.
I mean, they might use child facial hair if it's that smooth.
Maybe.
I mean, I can understand them not using my facial hair because I have the facial hair of a brick.
Yeah. So, Con gives Bronson a cut of the money, which is good.
It reminds me of that movie Peanut Butter Solution.
Oh, don't.
Where that it's such a weird fucking film. Like it's got a lot of round the twistishness to it, where it's like, oh yeah, kid gets scared by ghosts, so the ghosts give him this recipe to make him regrow his hair because the fright made his hair go away, and the thing is now that he changed the recipe, so he just grows too much hair. And you think, like, all right, that's the story. No, an evil artist gets a hold of the hair because the magic hair, ghost growth hair, can make paintings that you can, like, move and you can jump in.
I know.
And then that becomes a whole thing.
It's a lot.
It is one of the most fucking baffling movies I've ever seen.
So Bronson's out looking for a Mother's Day present, Faye, but everything's closed. We see Gribble, and all the hunters are leaving because they're, fed up of his stuff. He's trying to get them to stay.
Tired of having, like, fucking matrons stare at them.
And Bronson looks over and gets an idea. And this part pisses me off. Because poor Faye, they're leading her downstairs. They got her eyes closed. And then they're like, look, open your eyes. Here's presents. And Linda gives her a toaster. She unwraps it. It's a toaster. And she's like, oh, a toaster. Thanks, Linda. And then you see Tony and Pete's face. And you're like, you already know. You're like, oh, no. Oh, no, this poor woman. Pete gives the gift. It's another toaster.
It's the same
It's the same toaster, just a different color.
This is the sunbeam.
And then Tony's also a toaster. Okay. 3 of you have gone out to buy presents for Faye. Converse with each other. What are you going to get? Do you know what you're going to get? So we don't get the same thing. Also, just why a toaster? Is that all Port Miranda sells?
I was going to say, because how did you not run into each other at the same place? I refuse
There's
to
2
believe...
stores in town.
Yeah, and one of them's like the barbershop. Like, I refuse to believe there are 3 places in Port Miranda that sell toasters or know what electronics are.
The other thing that annoys me is, like, she's obviously a bit upset by this and was like, do I make a pig of myself at breakfast? Because, like, you bought me 3 toasters.
Toast monster!
Yeah. And to which Bronson comes running in and is like, Happy Mother's Day, Faye, and gives her a present. And she opens up and she's so happy because it's time at the hotel for some baffling reason.
It's a weekend for 2 at the Hotel de Love.
And she's like, Bronson, how could you afford this? And then looks at the others and was like, oh, I see what's going on. And she,
it was a joke,
she insinuates that the toasters were a joke and they all, like, put in for this. Which sucks, because that's Bronson's present.
See, it does, but also Bronson's been such an anus that fuck him.
I mean, look, he did the right thing. He dropped the razor, he broke it, he went and got it repaired out of his own money.
Been fucking with the razor to begin with.
No, absolutely, but I feel it's a bit much.
No, like
because everyone else just claims, that's it.
No, it is 100%. They stole they stole credit for like what Bronson had done, but also I still have enough residual Bronson hate to know that he does sort of deserve it.
Yeah, okay.
Like, maybe not this episode, but over the general run of Round the Twist, Bronson did deserve to have to do all this only to have, 3/4 of his fucking credit get stolen from him.
So, Faye and Tony are packing up. They're ready to go to the Hotel de Love for their weekend away.
Oh, God.
Gross. And they're
She's got,
talking
tons of
about
stuff.
the razor. And, Faye comes out. And
Tony can't
find it. And they all look at Bronson. He goes, oh, it's in the bathroom, I swear.
He's like, well, no.
And Faye comes down going, oh, Tony, do you want to bring your razor? I used it last night to shave my legs. To which the kids are all horrified. And as she's walking, we cut down to her legs, which are now furry.
Yeah. Not like furry either. Just like dementedly hairy.
Yeah. Like, it's sparse and great. And we get the worst part of the episode by far.
I know.
Because out of the bush, there's the Neanderthal we saw in the intro.
Yeah, like the actual fucking cryptid.
And he's looking at the legs and he goes, ooh, mummy.
Yeah.
And smiles. And that's what it ends on.
Just a hard cut to the fucking song.
And it's like, why? Why would you do this?
Yeah, this is what I mean when I'm talking about it could have just ended on the fucking Faye's got the hairiest legs in the world. Like, that would have been alright, yeah, that's the fucking end joke. It also makes sense. It's like, fucking Faye needed to shave the legs. Oh yeah, there's the fucking razor, I'll just use that, who cares?
Yeah.
Who gives a shit? And then, that all works. And like the fucking like, there are so many ways that this episode would have been better if the Neanderthal that they were gonna fucking have at the end were threaded throughout the episode. Like, it would have made all the rest of the stupid shit make much more sense if Bronson was getting confused for like some actual fucking cryptid. Like, if it were like, oh, you know, have you heard, like, Gribble going, have you heard about the Port Noranda Neanderthal? Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's a, you know, rumor has it that it's seen at this time of year. Like, you know, there, perfect.
Mm.
And then you could even have it in the end. Yeah, he's horny for fucking, you know, Faye. Great. That's fine. You don't just have him, because like the fucking intro cards, you know, how much they relate to the reality of the episode is always debatable. Like, you know, they might not even be there. You know, maybe that's a thing that's real. Maybe it's fucking not. So he's just like, oh no, at the end there he is. No one else knows he exists. But it's important that we as the audience know that he's horny. You know, that's... And it, like, aside from that, this is such a by the numbers episode.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, it's ultimately perfectly, the construction of it is perfectly fucking fine. It's like, oh yeah, here's a thing, it gets solved. Like, there's no real kind of art to it. It's kind of like a Paul W.S. Anderson made an episode of fucking...
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, it's just, it's perfunctory. And then it's just like someone at the end remembered, you know, what if we did something weird? And it's just... yeah, you know.
Not... It's creepy, weird.
An unfrozen caveman masturbating in a bush.
That was the executive producer.
Oh, mummy. It, like, I have to get, like, a clip of it or something and put it on, like, fucking Twitter or whatnot, because the voice will...
haunt you.
Yeah, it really... It's just... so much unnecessary... effort went into it.
You know what's bumming me is we've had a very distinct lack of Snapper.
Wasn't he riding? Didn't he migrate behind the camera at some point at this in the seasons?
I'm pretty sure he's the executive producer for the whole thing.
That's good. I hope he got some residuals from this.
Because I'm pretty sure. Let me look it up. His name is Esben Storm or something.
Fuck, that's right. I forgot his name was insane. Esben.
Let's have a look. Top cast. All cast and crew. Directed by... Yeah, Esben Storm, 18 episodes.
Huh.
1989 to 2000.
God damn.
He was from Denmark.
Huh. What a weird life path, you know? Like, imagine if, you know, by the time you're in your 50s or something, you were just directing children's television in Denmark. Like, huh. That happened.
Esben's credits is screenplay, storyline, and written by.
It was all
as well as directing.
It was all Snapper.
Pretty much. So yeah, this episode sucked. I was not a fan.
Oh, Amber, now we have something that's even worse. I have to ask you, have you ever felt like this? Have you ever tried or wanted a beard? Have you ever fucked up shaving? Have you ever botched a gift? And the novelty question this week, ever been chased through the night by a mob? I'll start with ever tried or wanted a beard.
Yes, duh.
Yeah.
Before transitioning...
Your funny little boy goatee.
I would grow facial hair very quickly. So shaving was a pain because I have damage on my skin, which means getting a close shave is very hard. And it fucks up, like, my skin is really sensitive.
Yeah.
Nothing was good for it. So I just also grew a beard so I didn't look 12. So I had facial hair. Never liked it, never really cared for it. And now I obviously don't, which is good.
I kind of resisted it for a long time. Just because there was that stretch where, like, it was just, you know, and still now, you know, like, it's impossible to buy shit for a beard that isn't, like, 110% energetic about beards. And it's like, I don't...
beard culture is strong.
Yeah, and, like, I I like my beard. I like being able to stroke my beard thoughtfully. Like, that's a gesture that I've always craved.
Mm.
You look better when you can hide half your face.
Mm.
Like, there's a lot of it's great. I do love it, but like, just I don't want the words "keep calm and beard on" my beard straightener. Like, can we just not do that? Like, I bought fucking COVID masks that were designed for people with beards.
Yeah.
Like, they're not like the fucking full tilt hospital ones, because for that you need to just fucking shave, and like, I don't want to do that.
Mm.
And so I bought these fucking things online. I was like, all right, that's good. And then they have this fucking like, skull with a beard logo that like
Jeez.
covered the left half of it, and was on there good. Like, getting that off was hard, and I only bothered getting it off like 2 of them, and just fucking wound up washing and fucking cycling them. And it's just like, just you could just sell me some shit. It doesn't need to be fuck yeah, beard orgasm, beard forever, beard face, beardy beard, beard, beard. You like your beard? Fuck yeah. Just staple more beard to your head, beard. It just drives me fucking nuts, and it's still there, and it's still it's just fucking unavoidable. And for ages, I was just like, I don't want to grow a fucking beard for that reason. I don't want to be fucking lumped in with the beard twits.
Fair.
But then, I've had to accept I have default white guy number 3 head. And I have like the fucking, the left part, and that's it. And that's, I get the one haircut, and I get the beard trim, and just stop resisting. Just let it happen. I mean, if I let it fucking grow, it'd probably look like Bronson's a little bit. Probably not as fucking red. Mine's a bit more of mine's got a bit more of the, brown. Yeah. But it's definitely red. There's the little bits of fucking, stray Viking DNA in there. But it isn't, we're not talking full tilt fucking flame red ginger.
Nah.
All right. Ever fucked up shaving? And I'm guessing the answer to that's going to be yes.
Of course. There is very much a time in most people's lives that shave, they get rid of the beard and think, let's keep a mustache. Which is not a good idea.
It is one of those things, it's like, the thing is, nobody knows who can pull a mustache off until they try. Like, I will say, there's no shame in trying. But, like, you have to accept the answer the world gives you pretty swiftly, I think.
Yeah. There was also times where I would just shave off the beard and keep weird-looking mustaches to annoy my ex.
I mean, that's always fun.
They never stayed long, because as much as I like the joke, looking at myself, I was like, oh, God.
I'm going to give myself the anti-Hitler.
Mm.
Just a big old part under the goddamn nose. And then 2 little fucking eyebrows to the left and the right.
Yeah, apart from that, I don't think I really ever had any mishaps. Like, never, trying to shave it, accidentally, doing something and, cutting half of it out, so you got to even it out.
Yeah, see, that, because I know that I suck at, gauging whether or not something's even.
Oh, it's terrible.
I would go absolutely insane, and, wind up just with, I don't know, the craziest looking mutton chops you've ever fucking seen. So aside from maintaining the line as given and keeping the neck growth, down, I will not fuck with my fucking, facial hair. I leave that to the fucking, hairdressers, because they can see what they're doing, and they, can send me out into the world not looking like a fucking mental, and you have to be fucking careful, because sometimes you can fuck up and you can look like a fucking mental. Like, a buddy that worked in the Milton 10-pin bowl, I come in there one time, and he's behind, the fucking cafe section bit, and I just look at him and I'm like, what the fuck happened to you? And he basically, it wasn't until I got a bit closer that I could get a good, his eyebrows are just gone. And I'm like, oh, okay, you passed out and someone did a prank. And he's like, nah, I did it myself. And I'm like, huh? Because he was from Taiwan, and I was like, maybe, this is some cultural thing. that I've not heard of and am about to make fun of anyway.
Yeah.
But he seemed very down. He was like, he knew. Like, this was not fun for him. And what had happened was, he'd had, like, you ever just, you have just the right amount of morning beers. You know, like, you maybe a bit hungover, you wake up, you have, like, 2, and you're just like, oh, this feels great, I feel great. And so he was shaving, and he had a bit of, shaving cream get on top of his hand. And so he goes to wipe that off his forehead. And so the shaving cream gets on his eyebrow.
Oh.
And so out of reflex, he just wipes the cream off with the thing in his hand, which is for, that's how you see the cream and you feel, you just go, oh yeah, I put the cream on and I rub the thing over where the cream is, and then that's this.
Excellent.
And so he just shaves off like a fucking chunk of one eyebrow, and he looks at that and he goes, I can't have that. And so he tried to even it out on like a,
silly
2-beer fucking reboot morning drunk, and effectively watched himself in the mirror as he shaved both of his eyebrows down until, as he said, I had 2 weird little tufts in the middle, and I just thought, fuck it, I'll get rid of them and they'll grow back. I do still wish I'd managed to see the tufts.
I wish so too, because I'm thinking of that Chinese looking thing.
Yeah.
With the 2, I don't know what it is. But
yeah, no, like it shows up a little bit. So it showed up in Japan as well. Like there was some weird thing where women would do it, and I was just like, that was one of the dumb ones. But
good lord.
The 2 little mini tufts, and just now it's just this smooth head. I also knew this goth kid in high school who shaved his eyebrows, and I'm still not sure why. But like one time we were like walking to my friend's house in the rain, and we found out what eyebrows are for. Like they're for something. Like eyebrows have a job, and you will not appreciate that until you are in the rain and water is just like tearing into your eyeball with force.
Good lord.
Because you got to imagine, like, the water comes down the forehead and then it hooks.
Yeah.
And so it's just like having 2 hoses pointed into your eyeballs. You can't do anything. You can't see. Because it's just like it may as well be, an eye bath. And that was fucking hilarious. Like, you gotta, like, I was like 15, like, learning that eyebrows did something and it was important, and that now, this goth guy I'm watching just tear blindly through the Indooroopilly streets is, like, about to hit something. Like, that was a fun night. Sweat, too, was a big issue. Cause that was salty and burnt.
Oh.
And, all right, what we got now? Ever botched a gift?
I don't think so.
Ever give someone 3 toasters?
No, I don't. I really don't think so. Like, I can't recall ever doing something like that. There might be joke gifts and stuff, but never like, oh no, we all got the same thing.
Yeah, like I can't really think of any like situations where it's like
I've witnessed someone get the same thing multiple times.
That's fun.
But like not, yeah. Because like when you're like, especially when you're a kid, at a kid's birthday party, like the parents are generally going to help you buy the gift.
Yeah.
So if there's a lot of kids, and kids are known, like it's very easy to know what a kid likes because they're all about that.
It's the only thing you will hear about.
Exactly. So like it's very easy, especially back then, to get probably like a Batman figure.
Yeah, you just go, all right, what's the kid into?
Yeah.
You're gonna get like, oh yeah, Roblox. You're like, all right, great, I'll get like a card with Roblox money on it or some shit.
Yeah. So you're gonna get like 10 cards.
Yeah, great. And then you know what? If I were a kid into fucking Roblox, I'm sure that'd be great.
I mean, that's great because that's currency. That stacks up.
Yeah. Well, it's like when by the time I was like 10, it was just like, just give me money.
Money's it's always a good choice. People are like, it's a little impersonal. It's like, yeah, but I'm going to get me something I love. You're going to get me something and I'm going to go, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Because, I'm me.
Also, when you're a kid, it's cool to see big piles of cash.
Yeah.
Even if it's just like 5s and 10s.
The best part was always getting a shitload of money, like, over time for, like, your birthday from, like, all sides of the family, whatever. And then just go to the toy store and being like, I have $70. I can buy like 5 things.
Yeah, I can get another fucking game.
5 big things or like 10 to 15 smaller things. I got one of those dragons. Do you remember dragonflies?
Oh yeah, I remember dragonflies.
Yeah, I had the dragon. It was
fuck me, really?
Yeah, the dragon with the big wings that moved, and you pulled its tail, and It was so high powered, we lost that thing. It just zoom off it went. Over like two houses. Yeah, it was gone.
It's free. That's it. Your dragon is now like living in like,
Yeah.
a nice farm.
See, that's rad. I like money. Yeah.
Because those things would take an eyeball out.
Oh, they were
Because
dangerous.
you yank them, yeah, like because there was what was it? Skylanders? No, it wasn't Skylanders. Dragonflies.
Dragonflies, yeah.
But with a Z.
Yeah.
Because it was the 90s. And then there was like a lady one. They were like, I don't know, fairy ballerinas or some shit. It was the same thing.
Yeah.
But just with like, like a slight fucking paint difference.
Yeah. And like, they were just like...
I think each of them had a TV show though.
They did. They definitely did.
I'm going to look that up now. So there was like dragonflies.
I think it was just fairies.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it was fairies, but I can't remember what the fucking... Yeah, right, there's dragonflies. Oh, God, there's, one season of dragonflies. Sky Dancers. Yep, there they are. 1996, one season. Yeah, I mean, look at that. And, like, yeah, they would just hit you in the fucking head. Because, like, the wings were kind of, like, had to be sort of rigid.
Mm.
Because you'd yank this fucking thing, because it was just a pull start. Kind of like a Beyblade, but
it was literally just a figure that had bladed wings coming out from its neck.
Yeah.
Down the arms, and when you pulled it, those would go straight up, and they go...
And then, fly the fuck around. Actually, now that I think about it, like, making a Beyblades out of those things would be fucking rad. Sky Beyblades.
Sky Blades.
Yeah, with a Z.
Yeah.
Sky. Sky.
Sky.
Like Czech or something. Sky Dancers. Yeah, look at them. Do you wanna scar your little brother's forehead?
Oh, they were deadly.
Really, they were just a little firm, Like, it was just one of those ones where, like, the concept's fine. It's just, I don't know if they quite had the technology to make plastic that was, like, enough that the fucking toy would fly, but not enough to cut you in the face. Because they would cut faces.
Well, they still sell them today.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Kmart has them, $20 each.
Oh, no fucking way. I'm going to get some Sky
Dancers.
Yeah. So what was the dragonfly's dragon?
Yeah, it was a big red dragon. Dragonflies.
Yeah, because I remember it. I just want to see, like, oh, yeah, like...
It was big and it was red.
Because they had the bases that they came from, but then there was, like, some different one.
This one. Riptor Deluxe Launcher. But that one...
Oh, holy shit. Yeah, that's way better than the regular Riptor launcher.
Yeah, no, because it's like literally a dragon figure.
Because like the other ones, it was clearly just like, oh yeah, it's the pulse.
Because yeah, he had wings, and he also had a little dude that sat on the back of his tail that also flew.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah, that was the big one I got. I was like, I want that.
Yeah, I think kicks ass. Riptor with Windmaster. I wonder how much that is on eBay. There's someone probably trying to sell your Riptor.
Probably, but look at his face.
I forgot how fucked up the heads look, because the heads are on these like fucking, they swivel. They gotta like bolt the fucking wings on, so they're built for structure, and so they're these big fucking mutant potato heads.
They're so funny.
I don't know. I so rarely really give gifts that because I just don't want to fucking.
I'm too poor.
I don't like receiving them either.
Yeah.
They make me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I mean, one time me and a friend set up, like, because it was his little sister's birthday, so he got her, like, a proper present, and we came up with this whole plan of, like, getting her to, like, solve puzzles and shit.
Mm.
And so we did all of that, and then, finally it was her digging in the backyard to, like, dig up the box we put the thing in. But, like, instead of, it was just toilet paper. And it was a prank. The real fucking present was like,
Yeah.
he had the fucking present there, but she just burst into tears.
No.
Because we figured she'd get angry, but she just instant tears. That's about the closest I've ever been with that one. Ever been chased through the night by a mob?
I don't think so.
When we were kids, we used to play like almost streetwide Tiggy.
Mm.
And like that's about the closest like you'd get. Because you had like, you ever play Gang Up? So basically every time someone gets, tagged, now they're up as well.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And so like, that would just, it'd end with like 1 or 2 people being like hunted by like 10 or 15.
That's pretty close.
And when you're playing like at night on a street, like it gets weird. Cause like one of the fuck that killer told you they could hide behind the fucking gas canisters and shit. Like he'd just be places and you just couldn't find the cunt. It was such a pain in the ass. I used to hate like there was no point sticking to Steven because Steven could just get places you couldn't, and then the mob would find you and you'd just be like, Steven's up there. And it wouldn't matter because they can't get him and they can get you.
Yeah.
And then now Steven's just up there and laughing. But like it is fun. And then like we kind of got into the ninja element of it actually and just made like, because we all started realizing it's like kind of fucking at night it's hard to see. And you can just, if you're in your fucking black tracksuit laying down in the gutter and like bunched up the street, someone's just not going to fucking spot you. And people started bringing like pillows out and belting each other and shit like that. Like, provided you're not going to get, like, actually lynched, it is fun. That's where we get, like, the fucking deadliest game of all and shit. All right, now the good news is because we took so long in getting the other one out and because it is an absolute fucking botchling of a fucking episode, we don't have any fucking emails to read, so that's nice. But if you want to send emails and answer these questions...
Don't.
Yeah.
No, do.
You're somewhat depressing, if I want to be completely honest. Then send them to ihavefeltlikethis@yahoo.com. That is, ihavefeltlikethis@yahoo.com. The internet's primary source of weird porno login detail email accounts, and also ours. Where are we? Where is it? I'm trying to find the fucking little thing that makes so I can make sure I've got the address right. There we go. Yeah, I have felt like this, all lowercase, no spaces or nothing, at yahoo.com. And your questions this time around are: have you ever had, tried, or wanted a beard? Have you ever fucked up shaving? Have you ever botched a gift? And have you ever been chased through the night by a mob?
I feel like that one's going to be answered.
Yeah, that's one of those ones where, like, I can
I'm
imagine...
from Finland. Every night we have the running of the...
Yeah, it'll be some weird fucking Euro tradition of, like, oh, yeah, for Easter, they make me dress like a scarecrow. I was like, oh, that's kind of fun. And yeah, and then, at night I have to run through the street while everyone tries to hit me with, like, willow switches. It's like, huh? Yeah, it's for fertility and stuff. It's like, all right. Well, as long as you're only partially emotionally scarred. So remember to write all of your strange, embarrassing, emotionally scarred stories to ihavefeltlikethis@yahoo.com. And hopefully this one's audible and will be up somewhere that you might actually want to listen to it.
Hey, you could listen to it. You should have heard it before I fixed it.
No, I know. I appreciate that. I do.
Because, like, before, it sounds like, we were skipping a disc,
I don't know how that happens. Like, I don't know what fucking, like, that's the thing about all this shit is, like, the things will break and they do things that I don't know how they did them. Like, I don't know, like, I can't trace back how to fix that happening again,
Because it's never going to happen again.
It's never happened before, will never happen again. We'll fuck up this one. All right.
Toodles.
Bye.